Oh, Miss Freddie and Brown on Cleveland. Yeah. I'm shaking my pom poms. Mm. Well. Wednesday evening, 10:02. Freddie is 2 minutes late, as always. Brown on Cleveland, 10 o'clock, as always, on time, never messing around. Welcome to the Little Hut Podcast. Brown on Cleveland, shake your pom poms, shake your pom poms. Freddie, shake your pom poms this evening. That is not a pom pom. I don't know. What is that, a butter knife?
This is an ink pen, a butter knife. Why would I have a butter knife? It's an
I
ink
have,
pen.
listen, I don't know. It looks like a butter knife to me, but at any rate, let's do
Mm-hmm.
this real quick. Freddie, do you need more commercial property or maybe a house? Single property, duplex? I don't know. Maybe you want to buy your daughter and your new son in law a house because I know you're a millionaire. Showing up, she is, y'all. Showing up. So listen, Freddie, call Aletha Johnson when we get off the air of Dream Team Realty at 216-375-3681 and tell her that you're the co-host of Brown, that darn Brown on Cleveland. And you don't have that t-shirt on tonight.
You told me I was supposed to wear it at the forum.
Okay, well the form is canceled and I
I
forgot
didn't
about that.
see.
Okay, well, the t-shirt, just so you know, was designed by New Beginnings 1111 Creations. That's Angie Marie. She is the CEO, the founder. And Freddie, she can turn your material around in 48, 72 hours. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. Darn it, you don't have to wait. So if you're looking for t-shirts, hoodies, jackets, tumblers, mugs, cups, whatever the case may be, call Angie Marie at 216-395-7335. Again, welcome to the Little Hut Podcast. Shake your pom poms, shake your pom poms, shake your pom poms. Maybe not. But before we get started, I want to tell you what's coming up next week. On Friday, we're going to talk about Cleveland Ward 1. The podcast will be dedicated to Cleveland Ward 1, and I'm going to tell everybody why the Cleveland Ward 1 Community Forum with those candidates, why it is canceled and what happened. I'm going to give people a play, and maybe a little bit of drama about what happened. Also, too, next week, we got mayoral candidate Laverne Gore coming inside the Little Hut podcast. We have Cheryl Wiltshire, who's running for the Cleveland Housing Court judge. And they tell me that Councilman Joe Jones is on his way to the Little Hut podcast. And you know, that's going to be funny to sit down with Kimberly Brown. Isn't that going to be interesting?
Very much so. Very much so. I'm looking forward to that one. Very much
That,
so.
that was going to be interesting because I'm not a candidate. So I am on the fence about who I am going to support, but he's coming on the show, according to his campaign manager, Pastor Aaron Phillips. We talked, and he says, yes, Joe is on his way to the hut, y'all. He's on his way to the hut. And this will be the first time that him and I actually get the opportunity to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation. And y'all know damn well Joe Jones don't get a pass in the little hut, but he get to come inside the little hut. And I'm gonna be very fair. So we're gonna have a chit chat about Cleveland Ward One, and that's basically that. But tonight, Freddie, is all about you. It's all about you.
Mm.
This is your topic tonight because you stated that you wanted to talk about the H, the N, the I, and the C. So, in times of crisis, leadership is put to the ultimate test. It's easy to inspire loyalty when everything is going right and is smooth. But it's when the waters get a little rough that true leaders emerge. And your haters, they don't shake their pom poms, damn it. They'll throw rocks at you. So tonight, Freddie, is all about you, the H, the N, the I, and the C. Come on and tell us what's going on. Brown on Cleveland.
All right. Well, good evening. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. All that good stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's been a lot going on. And, it's, of course, tragedy that happens every day, all day. But then there are others that call for big responses or a call to action, so to say. And not even just in this recent experience with the situation at Rainbow Terrace. Just I look back on my whole journey within activism, so to say. And I just I take a step back and I remember I think I wrote an article in the Brown Report about what are we doing? And it was like to activists and to anybody out there, to so-called leaders that's all out here trying to make a difference. It's like, what are we doing when we, the collective who says they want to do good and make change, and the community needs to do this and the community needs to do that, but when a big call to action happens, there's no collective cohesive nature of how to approach such said big problem. And I find it disappointing, like even with the stuff that goes on within social media. So to be a part of the epicenter where the the efforts to support the families were that were being impacted, to be a part of that and then to hear about the chatter on the outside, like it one had no time, space, energy, or anything to even think about what anybody could have been saying on the outside, but to hear it and say, I didn't get a call, nobody reached out, but you back here making noise and not really doing anything to impact the situation in a better way, because everybody is fighting for their moment of shine. Everybody needs to be, if it's their organization, if it's them individually, if it's their whatever institution, be it business, religious, whatever it may be, everybody look for their moment of shine, because at the end of the day, it's like we work more in competition than in collaboration. So everybody looking at like, well, I got to make sure my organization shows that we did this so that we can support why we need funding, and we gonna do this, and we, for whatever reason it is, it prevents us from working together. It's just, and that's just on all levels, from when you look at what goes on within our community, but on all levels is like, is more competitive than collaboration, and then we attack problems and situations sometimes in a very disjointed way that it makes no impact. And but the so-called leaders, or whomever the powers that be, that state they want to do something to make the community better or help, there's no, it's not connected to nobody else. Everybody just shooting in the dark, and you make a little impact here, you impact there, versus making a bigger impact, because nobody wants to work together. And it's
Well,
just
here's my thing. I've been involved with a lot of situations when it comes to tragedy and trauma. And what I've learned is as long as that news camera is going, as you stated, people want their 2, 3 second or minute of shine. But the reality is, what people have to understand is there's always going to be a lead person or a lead group. And to go back to the incident over at Rainbow Terrace, Garden Valley, a lot of people in the community saw that Burton Bell Carr was the lead organization. Now I'm going to say it again, Burton Bell Carr. So me and our organization, we knew to bring our donations to Burton Bell Carr. For one, because we know and we knew that Burton Bell Carr is a bona fide, legitimate organization with a great reputation in the community. And that's a fact, and nobody can deny it. When I began to see negative comments on social media from people who were looking for 2 minutes of fame and 20 minutes to shame the lead organization, that was disgusting to me. Because when there's a crisis in the community, you're right, people need to fall in line, come together, and do what is beneficial and do what's right. And the reason why we can't get it right is because you got all these Indians, and then you got all these chiefs. And then the Indians become envious and they want to be the chief. But the thing about it is that they really don't know how to make the movement move. They didn't understand, Freddie, what you guys were doing at Burton Bell Carr. I received several phone calls asking me to get involved to attack Burton Bell Carr. I said, I'm not going to do that because it's the wrong thing to do. Because when I went there, I saw mountains of donations. I said, they got to sort this stuff out. You just can't have people running there talking about they want something. There's a strategy. There's something called organization. And I'm sorry, people got to wait. That's just what it is. But to see people on social media, and they love to be keyboard killers, and Facebook want to be freedom fighters, but they cause a lot of chaos, conflict, and confusion. And they were absolutely wrong. And the thing that bothers us about this community, because I'm talking about our community, is that there always have to be an H, an N, an I, and a C. Brown on Cleveland. Don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't like it. I found it to be disrespectful. Brown on Cleveland.
yeah, it is like I said, it's just it's so unfortunate because there's no communication to us or whomever on how we can work together is versus while this is the hot story, let me get out here, let me make some noise and get this attention without even understanding or respecting anything of the process to be able to try in the capacity that we work within, because people have to understand we as a CDC, we are not like a social service organization that we have social workers, we have all of this on staff. We have a small staff. And during that time of taking in donations, that
Mountains of donations. Mountains.
it was me and the receptionist. So, and you hear people on the outside like, this is not even our day-to-day job. My day-to-day job is not taking in collections. But in response to the moment, we understood we had to pivot. And in that process of pivoting and trying to get ahead of the noise online of, if you want to help the victim, send it to
Terrible.
me, and this and this and that. And people stating, well, I heard such and such this, and I heard such and such that. I tell anybody, I said, well, I can't speak for anybody else. Where you sent your money, what you did with, I don't know. Ours has to be tracked. It has held to be held accountable.
Hmm.
Um, it's in the so is that you
It
could
was
take to the
crazy.
bank, but it's like, but that is just a snapshot of the bigger problem of our community as a whole. Because within this moment, either you a part of the solution, or you just going to be on the sidelines complaining about it without putting any real effort into trying to be make it a cohesive effort. But that goes across the board, even outside of this tragedy. Is any tragedy is daily. And then we sit up there and wonder why these communities don't get any better. Because if the people that are supposed to be out there in front of it can't even work together, what do you want? What's the
Well,
example? What's the
well,
example to the
here's the thing.
community?
Ashley B. That's me says this. She says, because the collective is not organized at all, that's one reason why you have the problem. She says, reactive, not proactive. People are more reactive. And then, two, we know about people's egos. Egos are very dangerous. We all have a different perspective and approach to attack problems. I agree with that. But the other part of this, if there's a leader in place, and you know that is the lead individual or the lead agency, I never really understood how come people just don't follow the lead. Because trust me, in life, you're going to get your opportunity to lead, but there's a process. I've seen a lot of organizations on social media who were, and I don't know if they still are, collecting all sorts of donations. And I often wonder whether or not the donations got to the victims. I saw people set up GoFundMe's. I wonder if dollars and cents got to the victims. And this is what happens when you have all of these different organizations talking about, come to me, come to me, come to me. If you just had the one organization, and if people could learn how to work together, things would get done in unison. We learned that from simple institutions like choirs and bands. If everybody's trying to be the solo, the record will never get played. It would be filled with chaos. When you're in church, what do you have? You have the tenor section, you have the sopranos, you have the altos, you have the solos, and then you got folks who can't sing, and they tell them you can still be in the choir, but just move your lips, pretend. We got to make sure that we follow order. And the sad thing about life today is that a lot of people who don't follow order, these are old folk. These are old people. These are grown people who should know better. Sharon Sproul just said, one band, one sound, and it should be one vision and one mission. And the bottom line is about helping those who were going through a time of their lives that they never ever thought of. And it was about the community coming together. And the only time we saw the community coming together is when the people who were victimized by this, they were helping each other. And nobody can deny that. But then when the help was coming on the outside, this is where you saw all of the confusion. Again, the H, the N, the I, and C shouldn't even be a subject matter. It's simply about the community coming together, following the lead, and everybody helping the lead become successful. So therefore, everybody can benefit from the donations. I'm just adding my 2 cents to everybody else's nonsense. But that social media, I keep telling people, that right there gets folks in trouble. But I've turned a lot of people away, Freddie, from my phone with that nonsense. And you know I did. And I let them know one thing you're not going to do, you're not going to attack my co host because I got her back. I'm not a flipper. I'm not a flopper. I'm loyal to people that I stand for, especially when they're doing right. Brown on Cleveland.
So it's funny to me, whatever the criticism may be. That doesn't even bother me because I know why I do the work that I do. I know the impact that I make every single day. Um, so because guess what? It
What?
ain't about me. It
No,
ain't even about me. It's not about me. I don't have to be in front of anything. You to think at this point that most people don't even know who I am. There is a multitude of opportunities. If I wanted to be in the spotlight, I could have been there. That's not what I'm here for.
no.
So I'm here for the work. I'm here to do the work. So, and I tell people, I walk it like I talk it. I've been doing this for a long time. So you can criticize me all you want, but check my record.
That's right.
So I've been doing this. You can go far back on my social media and you won't find no bullshit, I promise you. So check my record before you try to come for me and tell me what you think. That again ain't even about me. It's about how we as a community cannot work as a collective to get anything done. That we are I understand the compounded trauma. I understand. I get it. Trust and believe me. I get all of that. But to see those that say they want to lead also choose to deceive and mislead a conversation to get us off track. So it's just like, I don't know. But this conversation, yeah, it needs to be had because it's part of the dysfunction of our community. So everybody want to be in charge, and I don't have any problem following anybody if you leading in the right way. And I truly,
I'm glad you said that because personally, I'm not going to follow anybody to the top of the cliff who want me to jump with them. You jump by yourself. I may or may not pray for you, but I am not going to follow anybody who does not know the right way to go. Kimberly Brown's not going to do it. Not going to be bullied into do it. Not going to be pressured. I stand on the side of right, plain, simple, point, period. That's just what it is. Some people say that, hey, the church should have been the lead organization. But what I'll say is this: I've seen a lot of churches mess up a lot of situations during my time as an activist. We have done some groundbreaking things that have set history right here in the United States of America. So when the pastors and members of the church, they were afraid to act, we acted and we got it right and we made history. So I'm not going to say the church. I may say some or some particular ones, but not all. Brown on Cleveland, I will not agree with that. Learn how to follow the leader, the right leader. And if this is the lead organization, I don't understand why people cannot respect it. Respect it. I go to work every day. You know, I work for corporate America. And I have a director. My director has a VP. The VP reports to the owner. If I went to work every day and if I couldn't follow the rules of the leadership, I would not be there at all. A lot of people don't understand this. This is the reason why they job hop. One day they're working over here, then they're working over there, then they're working somewhere else. And their resume is a hot ASS mess due to the fact that you don't know how to follow simple orders and directives. So when people say, things are chaotic, the first thing I want to know is this: but are you disciplined? Because that comes first. You're not even disciplined enough or respectful enough to follow the lead, if it's a good lead, if it's a right lead to follow. And you sit back and wonder why, I have to agree with you, why things don't get done in decent and in order. Because I really would like to know, with all of these organizations that came into play, where are they today, Brown on Cleveland? Because I stopped following it. Once we dropped off our donations, I kind of felt like we did our part. We did what we were supposed to do. At that point, there's something called handoff. You hand it off to the next player. who's playing that position. It's just like in basketball. Let's use sports. If you're heading down and you pass off the ball, you're praying that your teammate can make a slam dunk or at least get the ball in the net. How they gonna get the ball in the net if everybody's playing the same position?
Yeah. I
Argue
guess,
that point, Brown on Cleveland.
yeah. So again, people speak without knowing what they speak of, without having all the facts. And again, it's either for the reaction of people on social media or for
Hogwash.
whatever whatever it is. So we know, as I know as an individual, that we have directly given a bulk of items to the families directly. And this was not uh my employer event. This was not us saying we gave this. This was from us. This supported other partners in the community that was out there making sure
Many.
it was getting to the family. So I don't know who the noise was coming from. I didn't follow it. I was too busy. I was too busy taking in donations and carrying in bags of clothes and water, and we were working. So I don't know what the chatter was on social media. I heard about it, you know, like Donald Trump said, people saying. I heard people were
Well,
saying,
I mean,
but
I get that. 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 And I'm glad you were busy and you didn't pay attention to the noise. But sometimes the noise becomes very hurtful. It hurts your ears. And it's the reason why when my phone started ringing about that nonsense, I stopped people right at the door. Take that mess on. I'm not going to get involved again in nonsense. But something Ashley just stated, he says, we were talking about, people being able to follow leaders and follow directives. She says it has to be modeled and it needs to be taught. And she's absolutely correct. When many of our families are dysfunctional and they don't work together, it's because they don't know how, they've never been taught. But still, I must say this is one reason why people's resumes and their livelihoods are so jacked up because they don't understand the position that they're supposed to play in life or the position that they're supposed to play at any given time. And rather than be so quick to react to something, step back and understand what the situation is. This is one of the reasons why the forum in Cleveland Ward 1 is now canceled because you had too many people minding somebody else's business. Won't let the committee that put it together, do what they need to do. You had all this unnecessary chatter. And Ward 1 had a right to know about the candidates that are running, right? So somebody gives you a nice blanket where you can launch your campaign and talk to the voters, but you yourself messed it up. And it goes back to what Ashley said. I believe that because you have not even been taught this game, but you want to play in it. That doesn't make sense. You want to be the lead agency of something, but you don't understand the dynamics or everything that goes into it. But you want to be the chief and shake your pom poms. Put your damn pom poms down. You haven't even earned the right to shake your pom pom, shake your pom pom, shake your pom poms. In high school, with my stiff self, because I can't dance, I was a ramette. That was a step below being a cheerleader. I was probably the stiffest ramette ever, but I knew how to shake my pom poms. But I understood I couldn't be the captain. You know why? Because I wasn't the best at it. But I could play basketball, right? But I understand my position. You got to understand your position. But the chatter was unnecessary and it was really disrespectful. And I would like to know all of the people who was running I'm going to say damn miles, where are they now? What did they do to contribute besides chaos, conflict, and confusion? And as you say, noise. That's about it. Because I'll tell you this, When the cameras left, they left too. Hell, if they just wanted a picture, Freddie, I could have snapped a picture. I could have posted a picture. Hell, I could have put the picture on the Little Hut podcast. But that's not what it was about. Brown or Cleveland. People, you got to stop interfering where you do not belong. The HNIC. I remember that movie. What was that movie? Lean on Me.
Hmm.
Lean on Me. And they
That's the
talked
first
about
time I heard that. That's the first time I
talking
heard
about
it.
the HNIC.
Yeah, like what is that? Oh,
Remember when
yes.
when the principal thought that he was in charge,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Right, and then the superintendent came back to let him know, I'm the only HNIC here. So I don't know
Yeah.
what you think, but you are not the one who make the ultimate decisions. You gotta learn how to follow the leader. You
Yeah.
gotta learn how to do that. If not, you're gonna have a life full of pain and shame. But to get on social media and talk crazy was absolutely bonkers. I didn't like it. I found it to be very disrespectful. And yes, I had my friends back that I've known for about, what, 20 years now?
It's been a minute. It's been a while. It's been a
About 20
while.
years. About 20 years. Brown on Cleveland. Anything else? Because it's 10:30 and I got to go to work.
Nope. It's like, hey, we're gonna keep on doing what we do, keep doing the work. Until next time. Live, love, laugh. Try to make a difference along the way. Peace. Enjoy your Wednesday, hump day. Well, it's hump night. Thank goodness. Yep.
Well, I've had one heck of a week so far. I was chased yesterday by a white pink nosed pit bull. Yeah, I thought he was gonna grab my neck. Real talk. And a lady
What?
pulled up in a black car and she opened her door and she said, "Lady, jump in." I jumped in that car. That pit bull was like, "Woo!" Almost got you, girl.
Where was you at? What?
And messy Maple Heights, walking down a street called Clare Avenue. I kid you. Being serious,
Oh
being serious.
no.
All them people I talk about in Maple Heights, I guarantee you, them damn people probably set dog on me. No,
They
I'm
like, there you go. Them the same people that gave you poison ivy. Yeah. The same people that gave you poison ivy.
okay. You're a hater now. All right, brown, brown, brown. Simply brown on Cleveland. Always remember, you don't have to be a star. You don't have to be a star baby to be on this show. You don't have to be a star baby, but you simply just gotta be bold and don't talk about me because y'all know I'll talk about you back. I may get even, I may go on attack, or I may just say, well, I'm too old for that. Nope, I'm not putting on my grown stuff. I'm not doing that. No, I'm gonna stay immature and I'm gonna talk about you back. No, I'm joking. All right, Freddie, you don't have to be a star, baby. You don't have to be a star, baby. You don't have to be a star, baby, to be on this show. You don't have to be a star, baby. But Freddie,
You got to be bold.
palms, pom poms. Woo! Shake your pom poms, you guys. Join me Friday. Friday is going to be a hot show. It's going to be pure fire. The topic is Cleveland Ward 1. So if you live in Cleveland Ward 1, this is one show you don't want to miss. I guarantee you that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wonder how many people I'm going to piss off. I really don't care because you did it to yourself. And I believe people have a right to know. Shake your pom poms. Shake your pom poms, Freddie. Woo!